Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I look around.
Thank you very much, Reverend Sama, for coming in to join me in the studios today on our Amba history. It's very, very important, and we are very, very grateful to have you come on to be with us today in this Amba history. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is once again my pleasure and the pleasure of the people of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, from its president, Dr. Samuel Sarkozy Kome, wishing all of you a wonderful week that we began on Sunday. And we are expecting that this week is going to be a week with a difference. And so we actually congratulate you for coming in to join us in these very important historical facts that we are bringing out. And remember, I told you that as we go along, we will be bringing current events that have turned into history, because it is only when things happen that at the end of the day, you talk about them as history. And today I'm going to bring you a particular person that has stood as a big, I don't like to talk negative, but somebody who poses to talk for the people of Ambazonia and threatens Ambazonians and makes it come to pass as he has threatened is a big danger that every Ambazonian should avoid. Sincerely, a big danger that every Ambazonian should avoid. And sometimes I heard a few days ago, no, sorry, I have not greeted our real men. My apologies to all the defense people on home front, men and women who have stood and are standing the test of our liberation. 21 gun salutes to all of you. I remember a few days ago answering a question, I think it was the Secretary of State for Communications, who said that our force on ground, home front is 8 million people. Why did he say so? He said that all of you, both the civil society, and the fighters on home front are all militants that are fighting for the liberation of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, former British Southern Cameroons. And when he said that, I sat quiet and I started pondering. When my boss, he's my boss, Dr. Martin Mungwa, Secretary of State for the Communications for the interim government, I have told you time and again that there is no other Secretary of State. There are people who have stolen the name of the interim government and they are parading with it. And now Yaoundé is applauding and clapping for them. When Yaoundé start clapping for people, please watch out, run away. If you are real, run away. They will never clap and they will never applaud and they will never mention the people that are real. But when they start mentioning your name, just know that you are part and parcel of them in one way or the other. All right, that's not my portion. The people who talk about that are really over there. But what I'm saying is that as far as the interim government is concerned, we are sending our congratulations and greetings to the people on home front, many of which have sacrificed everything possible to make sure that they get the best that they can get from the interim government, where our president, Dr. Sako, has put the things that are needed in place. Yes, he has put the things that are needed in place. That is the structures that we need to execute and put this revolution in the place that is supposed to be. And so any other person who comes in and is trying to say some things and come out with maybe names that they have created and people that, they have chosen. Of course, they have not chosen, that La Republic has chosen, because anybody that La Republic chooses, they want to always impose their leaders on us. But we have said that we cannot continue to sit down and listen to La Republic impose leaders on us. And when they see somebody that is their choice, they'll begin to sing the person's praises. I can imagine many La Republique surrogates and activists, and even the government is calling one girl's name that she is the president of Ambazonia. No, she's the president of Njange House. And you know that if presidential appellation was reserved only for serious matters like what we are talking now, nobody will just carelessly answer president. But if you go into quarterheads, you have president. If you go into Njangi houses, you have president. If you go into groups, you have president. If you go into nations, you have president. So when they are mentioning a group president of the name of this girl that I don't always like to mention, who has stolen the appellation and the name of the interim government, and they are still parading with it, confusing the people on home front, we are here to let you know that the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia for the past 4 years, Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome, who has committed this nation into the hands of God, is still alive, kicking, and doing that, focusing on taking us to Boya. That's why when we come into programs like this, we don't want to just rush, but want you to remember. And for that reason, just sit back, relax, take some breath, and listen to this, and definitely remember. I'll be right back as you remember.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much for reminding us and always bringing us to a point to remember. It is because of this issue of remembrance that we are bringing to you our history. And as we are bringing our history to you, we want you to remember where we are coming from. Because sincerely, if you don't know where you are coming from, it is very, very likely you may not go to where you are going to, where you're supposed to go, because you don't know where you're coming from. We have come a long way. And this long way that we have come is a long way that I want you to listen, and to listen very attentively. Now, this interim government after 2016 episode. I would like you to share the link, please. As soon as you get it, share the link, because there's something very important that I want you to listen to, and let us talk. You see, we have people who started with us, and they were very serious to take us to Boya. We call them frontline leaders sometimes. Frontline leaders. But sometimes it baffles me with what some frontline leaders, after some time, what they utter. Is it true that power corrupts and absolutely corrupts? I will agree with that. Yes. Power corrupts and absolutely corrupts those who do not have the author and the authority that gives power. Power comes from God, and everybody knows that. But many people don't want to acknowledge this God. And of course, we have a God. There is God and there is a God, and there are gods. Why do they call them that name? Because the Almighty, He is Almighty. He created the gods and He was not created. And because He created the gods and was not created, He is the only one that has the power, that has the authority to carry out that which we are talking here today. If not, we would have been swallowed up by La Republique. We all know that. I don't want to go back to very, very long histories. I want us to just chill and listen to some utterances that are made by some people, whom some people still believe today that they are fighting for Ambazonia. And some of the utterances of these people, they say it and it happens. And it baffles me and shakes me to the bones why Ambazonians, some people, are still following after these so-called leaders. Now, the biggest question that puzzles my mind is, are we serious? Or do these people use some hypnotic spiritual powers, some diabolic powers to hold people in bondage, that even when they hear and they listen to such speeches that actually are said and it happens, they still continue to follow? The history book that I've told you that everybody should get a copy is called the Holy Bible. It has the history of Ambazonia from page 1 to the end. And most of the things that are happening in Ambazonia today are found inside there, very clear, very, very clear. People who have spoken with the language that we are soon going to hear are found inside this history book, and they did exactly what this man is saying. And of course, this history book makes us to know who to follow. If you follow a man that is devilish, you will become devilish. Arrogant, you'll be arrogant. Proud, you'll be proud. Killer, you will kill. But if you, who is sensitive and sensible, and you are following speeches without action, then it can be understandable. But when speeches come with actions that are detrimental, because I know that an average Ambazonia wants to be free, apart from those who have taken up this our fight to make gains for themselves, and those who are following them who are also making gains, that's where we have a little problem. But I want you to listen to this, my dear friends. This is one of the so-called frontline leaders. Let me call him frontline leader. Listen to what he's saying. And after that, you judge by yourself. By their fruits we shall know them. After that, you judge by yourself. I've told you that we don't want to bring people here and talk negatively. But we need to warn you that if you are following somebody, Paul the Apostle said, Be ye followers together of me, even as I am of Christ. Because Paul the apostle is not Christ. He is just a follower of Christ. I was directing people to follow Christ. So if you are following somebody who is a killer, a threat, I don't think that anybody who comes up to liberate people will command other people of the same liberation team to be killed. Yesterday, I listened live to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, Mr. Ate, and the Chief of Staff for the interim president, interim president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, Dr. Yaya, and they were so clear in their utterances that they mentioned names that were not a shock to me. But they gave a very good reason. Outside there, people will say we are fighting. No, we are not fighting. It's to put the things right, in the right place. If somebody goes out there and deceive hundreds of thousands of people and brainwash them, don't think we should come and just pamper them and let people to be killed. The Chief of Staff specially mentioned some names that have caused the death and the deaths of so many of the ARF fighters in Bui County. The names, I don't know how to pronounce them, I don't know them, but the names were very clear. And you, Ambazonians, you know some of these people. This is history in the making, and history requires that we should run away from anything that is damaging to us. Now listen to this. I just brought that to let you listen to this. This is not judging. This is telling you the heart of who is a leader and what he says and what he does. You should judge between yourself whether you should continue to follow such a fellow like this. The Bible tells me, let the prophet speak one or two and let the other ones judge. So even prophecy that comes from God is subject to verification. Listen to this. And when you listen to this, let me know.
Independence is abstract. The notion of Ambazonia is abstract. Look, independence is abstract. The notion of Ambazonia is abstract.
All right. We hear this man shouting, independence is abstract. The notion of Ambazonia is abstract. So, what is he fighting for? What is this gentleman fighting for when the issue of independence for Ambazonia is abstract? Abstract is something that you cannot handle. Abstract is something that you cannot see. Abstract is something that you cannot deal with. Unfortunately, I didn't get the other video which he spoke, but even though I didn't get it in the studios here, our technician has not submitted that to me. I'm going to play it here. I'll play the video now in the audio form. I want you to listen. It's this same person that has just made this statement that he has made. Now, I want you to listen to what this young man is saying. He has already told us independence is abstract. Now, let's go and find out from the people who have jumped out from the motherhood of ACT. Remember, after tomorrow, Thursday, there is a town hall meeting that is going to be talking about the ACT, the team Ambazonia, the Ambazonia coalition team. On Thursday at 8 p.m., the Zoom link is already out. The ID of the Zoom link is already out, and it's going to be an open meeting. Now, we heard very clearly, I don't like mentioning names, like somebody called me and lambasted me, say, hey, you are a pastor, you need to bring peace, you need to do this and that. And I told him that you are the one who is calling me pastor. I am a Christian. I'm a child of God. And my portfolio before God is not pastor, it's a child of God like you are. Please, child of God, come in and help me how to bring peace amongst these people, where people will see red and call it black. I mean red, that you can even see in darkness. They'll call it black. Then how do you expect pastor to perform a magic? I don't call it miracle at this time. I call it magic. Because the simple way is for this person who is calling red black to come back home and call it red. But when he doesn't call it red, then you expect somebody you call pastor to come and make magic. Because miracles don't work like that. Miracles work with truth. When you speak the truth, a miracle will happen. But when you speak a lie, you want to do magic. Magic is blindfolding. Magic is the opposite of miracle. Magic is done by Satan. Meanwhile, miracle is done by God. So you want pastor to be a magician, to bring somebody who is calling red and put it in the place where people are calling red red. You bring him who is calling red black to be with them. What a mixture. What a miracle a pastor can do. What a patting on the shoulder you want him to do. Oh, we are all together and so on. So that people should not think that, excuse me. We said that this struggle is God ordained and we have given it over to God. And God will call a spade a spade. God will not come to sugarcoat so that people out there can say, oh yes, it is good. When it is not good, let's correct it. Correct it where the people have polluted it. You don't correct it at the background. They will not come out. If they can come out and make apologies. All right, listen to this. Listen to this. You are Ambazonians.
The notion of Ambazonia is abstract. Look, independence is abstract. The notion of Ambazonia is abstract. Look.
Dear friends, I want you to help me. Tell me. This is history. Somebody has said it from his heart that this is abstract. This is not visible. And then you are bringing him and telling me to go and join him so that we can together be saying that the question of Ambazonia is abstract. Then what are we fighting for? Why are we fighting when it is abstract? When the independence of Ambazonia is abstract? Can you imagine that? If our technician is there, please go to that audio, that video where he opened his mouth and said that if any chief will do anything funny, he will hang his neck. He said it and it happened. Is a technician there, please? If you have that video, can you put it on? Okay, let me play it here. Listen. Listen.
Abstract. Being instrumentalized.
The independence of Ambazonia is abstract.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry for that mix-up. Sorry for that mix-up there. Two things are playing here. Hold on. You know, this technology is really making us get into a lot of things. Okay, now I perceive, let me see if it is corrected. If that is corrected, then we will go on now and listen to what our friend said. I don't want to call him an enemy. Jesus called Judas Iscariot, you betray your master with
do anything funny, he'll hang his neck.
Yeah, listen.
He said it and it happened.
Oh.
Is a technician there, please? If you have that video, can you put it on? Okay, let me play it here. Listen.
I think there is still some mistake over there. Wow. All right. I think by now I should get it right.
And for all of you, the chiefs and firms being instrumentalized to attack the ADF, we will take you out. Whether you are a chief or you are a firm, I will hang your head on a stick. And
listen
for all
again.
of you,
listen.
The chiefs and firms being instrumentalized to attack the ADF, we will take you out. Whether you are a chief or you are a firm, I will hang your head on a stick. And for all of you, the chiefs and firms being instrumentalized to attack the ADF, we will take you out. Whether you are a chief or you are a firm, I will hang your head on a stick.
I will hang your head on a stick. This is still Ayabacho, who said there that the question of Ambazonia is abstract. The independence of Ambazonia is abstract. Ambazonians, we are making history. I want to ask the followers of this man, all of you who are fighting and killing people for the sake of this man, have you been hypnotized? Or is there a mystical one that has been placed on you that you cannot reason after hearing such a language? This is not sowing a seed of discord. This is very clear. It's said in the social media. It's out there in the social media. And you, Ambazonians, some of you are very sincere. You want to go to Ambazonia, but your sincerity is very wrong. The first fool is never actually called a fool. But when you are fooled the first time, the second time, the third time, then you are well adorned. Our history is very, very clear. Ayaba threatened to hang chiefs. And the people of Kurugwe, they now know. Now, he has guns. These chiefs don't have guns. How do they threaten the Ayaba destroying forces, ADF? How do they threaten them? Their threat is that they don't agree with them. They don't want them by the corner because they are agents of the Republic of Cameroon. And because of that, he wants to subjugate them like the gendarmes and the La Republique Kale agents did to the Ambazonians, into the southern Cameroonians, before this unholy, unequal yoke that has not even taken place came into place. They used force. They used threats, intimidations. The head of the chief's fund that this guy hanged was just an example. And go and look at how many people are in their graves today, killed by this man who says he's fighting to go to Boya. Boya, that is abstract. Boya, that the independence is abstract. Go into your dictionary, Ambazonians, get the nearest Englishman and find out this word. If he has coined out, if this word means another thing in English, except I don't understand. Because I think I understand he's talking the same language that I'm talking. Ambazonians, let's sit up. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's follow that which is right. Because I don't know how you want me. I really want to go to Boya. And you tell me to just go and cooperate with somebody like this, who is shouting at the top of his voice. And what he says, it comes to pass. He says it and he does it. And you, who wants to go to Boya, you are in Ambazonia. You are telling me, oh, let's just join together. Oh, let's just come together. Oh, let's try to be in one. One how? Can you tell me the oneness that you want us to be in? Because if I know the one that we are talking about, I think I will be able to at least think that that oneness that you want us to be about is something that we can afford. And if we can afford what you want me to think that is real, then we'll be able to go alongside. But if I cannot afford, if you cannot know what is going on, and then you are telling me, oh, let's do this, let's do that, my dear friend, I think that it is high time we begin to awake. We begin to awake like Ambazonians and know what to say and know what to do, and not to deceive ourselves by thinking that a snake inside the house can be allowed. And this snake, that is allowed inside the house can go a long way and make us to get to where we are going. We will never be able to get there. We will never be able to get there because it is not possible. It is not possible. Ambazonians, In the course of making our history, let's not just rush ahead. You know of so many threats that have gone, and today we are having a different story altogether. Different, very different story. Well, there are a number of other audios that we cannot get them very clear, but I am promising that in our history, I want you to remember what has happened in the past. Because when you remember what has happened in the past, in the history, you will be able to sit up and say, look, we will not continue in this way. We will not. We want to go a step further. And that's why I'm encouraging all of you, to step out and join hands with the focus team, like you heard yesterday, with the team of yesterday. Sometimes there are some painful history that we don't need to actually go back and rehearse. And that is why sometimes when you want to really go ahead, you just go ahead and remember what God has done. Let's listen to this again.
Savior, I love you. When I remember, when I remember, hallelujah. When I remember, when I remember, oh yeah. When I remember, when I remember, hallelujah. When I
Sometimes it's very, very painful that the history you want to bring on board is always sounding and getting into a big time negative. And I am one of the persons that I do not actually like a negative history. But since it is the one that is occupying space and occupying the social media, I find it very, very sad to bring it. But if I don't bring it, people will continue to live in that gross ignorance. A few days ago, last week, I brought to you some purported intelligent so-called frontline leaders that will speak something today, and tomorrow they will speak another one. And I would like to recount and recall to what the Vice President said just yesterday. It is so sad, very, very sad. And I think on several occasions, I have brought to your knowledge the history that is now history, which actually was a current event that took place in Ambazonia inside this interim government. And this current event that took place in this interim government is the current event that we are now talking as history. How did it become the current event, or what happened? Because we cannot talk history without people making history. And that's why I told you that as far as our fight is concerned, our going to boy is concerned, it is a fight that we have handed over to God. As knowledge is increasing, many people are devising means to create situations that are very, very damaging, but profiting to them in this very short time that we are here. And yes, my dear sister, we are exposing that double standard. Yesterday, the Vice President, in his discourse, actually told the people of Ambazonia of the double standardness of some of the people who were very close to the president. And the president gave them utmost confidence. And everything, some of the bad deals, God is my witness. And I am very, very convinced, I can say it here very convincingly, that Mr. President did not know that most of the deals that were brought to him were to entangle him. But being a man that is sincere and has put structures in place, and he has so many things to oversee, he did not sit down to take all those deals that were brought to him and deliberate on them. Now, from what I heard yesterday, he was not the one who was even making the requisition to get money from the treasury for these deals. It was his former vice president, whom we believe, being quiet, that quietness was hidden under subtlety, being very subtle. The Bible says the serpent was the most subtle of all the animals that were created, and he came to the woman. So this subtle former vice president signed all the deals with himself, the others whom they call bishop, and the other whom they call pastor. You all know that. I don't want to mention their names because it's very unhealthy that these double standard gentlemen, double-faced men, that people will say confidence, these are men from God. Meanwhile, they were just men of God. And there can be men of God, small God, men of gods. Because if you are a true man of God, like President Sako has proven beyond every doubt that he is a servant of God, unbelievers, people who don't believe in his standard of Christianity, have cried foul, but no evidence. Over the weeks, I brought to you history where some of them, doctors, were saying, just give us one evidence. No evidence. I even played to you one of his pastors when he said there was a deal of CDC and they asked him a hardcore evidence which he did not have. He confessed it only that day in their caucus meeting, cabal meeting. This is history that is in the making. And when somebody says he's standing for God, you must not afford to be double standard because you'll be caught. Oh yes, God will either expose you here so that you can repent. And that's why, Mr. President, Dr. Sako, thank you very much. He is still stretching forth his hands to some of you who have been deceived by people of double standard telling lies, using religious names, bishop, pastor, and we started following them. And only for us to get up one day, no evidence. I've told you, I don't come here to make propaganda that tomorrow I will change my language. I will not say something here that is not verified. If I mistakenly say it and my boss corrects me, I will come right inside here and openly apologize that I'm sorry. What I said was not authenticated. That is the standard of a child of God. And this is expected more of somebody who says a pastor. Like I told you a few months ago, how I would like to fondly call him here my colleague because he calls himself pastor. I don't know whether he has dropped the pastoral ship. This is history. And we must expose the double standard of anybody. He called my name in one of his shows and said Pastor Komando knows about the bank account that Dr. Sako opened in Brazil. And I called him, I picked up my phone and I called him. I said, Mr. Chris Anu, please, I don't know of any bank account you mentioned in your show that President Sako opened in Brazil. Can you go back to the show and tell them that Pastor Komando called you from Brazil and told you that he doesn't know, Dr. Sako didn't open any bank account that I know. Up till tomorrow, I'm still waiting for him to make an apology and amendment if truly he is serious. But what has he done? He will go ahead to use other blackmails that are not authenticated. And people are still following. I said yesterday gave me the courage to come in here and ask this talented, well-structured, polished young lady, I don't know of how many children, called Marianta, who is deceiving herself, building on lies. This is a woman that could not bear with ADF, Ayabacho, but she was presiding a meeting where she was president, Ayabacho was president. Of course, presidents of Jangi meeting, no doubt. Where do you put your conscience, Marianta? I've never mentioned you. I've never called your name. Let me call you today. Where have you kept your real conscience? That the evidences that they said about your boss, Dr. Sako, have not been proven, and you believe a lie. And 3/4 of the people that are sitting around there with you, you know the deal that Christopher brought to the president, and Abongwa signed out the bonds of $135,000 till today. He even said that the materials have arrived, Mezam. People should just come in and bring the money, they will go and pick it up. Where are the materials? Where is the money? Only at the end, I'm still looking for the audio, where he actually said it was a scam in one of the meetings. He confirmed that it was a scam. Did he know only that time that it was a scam, or it was a scam when he knew it? I'm going to get that audio. By the grace of God, tomorrow when I'm putting up here, I will play his voice when he confessed that it was a scam. Who are the people that scammed you? We don't know. Does he know? How could you be dealing with people that you don't know? And 3 of them, 135,000. The vice president mentioned them yesterday. So I'm just picking up from that mention. Igiawan, Chris Anu, and Abongwa. But are they making the loudest noise? The loudest noise. And I was shocked-alized. Let me use the name of this guy, the language of this guy. I was shocked-alized a few days ago when I got an excerpt of Chris Anu shouting on the TV that he needs the receipts of the 135,000. God have mercy. And he's asking Dr. Sako to provide the receipt. Meanwhile, he knows that it was Abongwa, his colleague in crime, that signed the money. Instead of asking him the receipt, he's asking somebody who doesn't know the transaction that they did and came up to say that it is, but it was a scam. I'm very sorry to bring this out here, but I think that double standardness and pointing of fingers should stop. And the people should know that we are not joking. The history book I'm reading did not hide anybody. It doesn't matter how close you were to God. When you committed a crime, God will come and call your name out. David, he sent Nathan to go and tell him, somebody had so many sheep. One person came into the city with 1 sheep. And this man with so many sheep left his sheep and took his sheep. And David swore and said, that man must not see the daylight tomorrow. And Nathan said, you are the one king. You have killed Uriah. You have taken his wife. God says, David fell down and cried. God revealed it. And it's written in the Bible. It's written there in the Bible. So somebody's calling. Let me see whether it's for our program here. Just listen to this.
Come on, come on, come on. The thoughts of the Lord towards you are thoughts of peace, hope, love, joy, goodness, and not of evil. And also to give you an expected end. Hallelujah. When I remember his goodness, when I remember that Jesus died for me, when I remember, hallelujah, when I remember that Jesus died for me.
Sorry, thank you very much for that remembrance. I always want us to remember a number of things that God put on our way. And when we remember them, we should immediately go ahead and share the things. Why am I sharing what I'm sharing here now? I'm sharing these things now so that Ambazonians should arise and make sure that you know exactly whom you are following. The history book I'm reading tells me that if you follow a blind man and he or she falls into the ditch, you will fall into the ditch with them. There are so many things that have been kept like classified, and this classification has caused us a lot of setbacks because we don't tell people what they're supposed to know from the lies that they have been told. And because we don't do that, a number of people have become victims of a number of things that have happened that we would have avoided if we came out to debunk. Now, debunking lies is not that we are fighting with one another. No. 3/4 of the people that are in the coup protest group that Marianta is their president, 3/4 of these people are people who have stolen the money that Ambazonians have contributed for their LGAs. Some of them are the ones that have taken this money, not only end with the money, have also gone to home front and decided to give money to some of the fighters to kill their own brothers instead of fighting La République du Cameroon. And should we keep this quiet? I am saying this because I know that from all indications, Ambazonia will never stay with La République du Cameroon. We will never go up, come down. We will never stay with these people. Let other Ambazonians go and form a coalition with them. The logical and the logical conclusion is that we will never stay with these people together as a country. That one is very clear. It doesn't matter how long it will take, but the fact and the truth is that it will never happen that we stay with these people. So I want Ambazonians to know, and to know very, very well, that God, whom the president, Dr. Sako, had brought into this issue, is a living God, and that he has ears to hear. Oh yes, he has ears to hear. And because he has ears to hear, there is no way that, anybody can stop the move of God. Even if just one person. You see, when I read the history book, it amazed me of what is going on. God said, and I look for a man. He didn't say I look for men. He said, I look for a man, just one man, and things will change. And here are Ambazonians. Here are Ambazonians. Not one, not two, but hundreds, thousands that are standing to go to their homeland, if not millions. The few obstacles that Satan has brought, to actually make us go a little bit backward, and the strategies that Satan is using to make things look a type will not still stop us. Now, I just played to you a few minutes ago Ayabache, who is shouting that Ambazonia is an abstract. Independence is an abstract. But a few days ago, I don't know if there's anybody in the studio that will help me as a technician to bring up that video where he got up. I was saying that he is moving the headquarters of Ambazonia to Bamenda, a country that is existing in abstract. Is it no witchcraft? How will you call this? Somebody who comes up to discourage Ambazonia saying that there is no country called Ambazonia. There is no independence for Ambazonia. He is the very person who comes up to say that they are moving. He is moving the headquarters of Ambazonia from Boya to Bamenda. Is it not witchcraft? What can you say to that? Are you people say we should keep quiet? And demons, are they working all this kind of rubbish? And we are there toiling and praying? We will see who is going to answer who. Whether Satan will answer him or God will answer us. And then there are some people who are sitting in there and they call themselves pastors. I remember a certain story in the Bible where somebody from the house of Jacob was found in a certain city being the priest of an idol worshiper village. And when these children of Israel discovered him there, they took him out there and they took him out of that place, because you cannot double cross. And we have people who say they are pastors and they are praying for an abstract Ambazonia, for an abstract independence of Ambazonia. And they are also praying for Ambazonia to the headquarters to be moved from Boya to Bamenda. And they call themselves pastors. I'm not judging you, but just give yourself a little thought. Anyway, it is very clear. No wonder, for Satan himself has transformed into an angel of light. If Satan does that, what about ordinary people? They can transform themselves to be pastors and men of God and so on. I'm living in a country where so many men of God have proven to the entire world, trying to disintegrate God by doing a lot of illicit businesses just to survive. They do anything illicit that is illegal just to survive. Whether they read it from the Bible or not is not their concern. My dear friends, what I'm saying is that Ambazonia has been handed over to God. And whether we like it or not, we are making it. We are going to Ambazonia. For your information, as a historian, I've studied other nations, a little bit of other nations. And the nation that hangs on to God, that nation sees the light of the day. But the nation that disintegrates God, and goes after other gods, ends up like Bia is about to end up. Where is Bia's family? Where is Bia Junior? Where is that his daughter? How do you call that woman, that girl again, or that woman? Where is she? You think it's ordinary? Go and look at the lifestyle of the politicians who have used other people's children to sacrifice to devils. Some of them have even used their own children and they pretend to say they are, whether they are osmotic or what they call them. Meanwhile, they have sacrificed those children, sacrificed their brains. And Satan is using them every now and then. Go and see them. They are sad. They are very sad. They are not happy. Because you think you can climb on other people's destiny to create a destiny for you. No. If you condemn somebody's house and you use the blocks to build your house, you are building the house to accommodate devils. And your end life is going to be miserable. They call it the law of karma in their own way. But we know that what you wish to happen to others will happen to you. That is Bible. That is the history book I'm reading. And so, my dear friends, I have told you, check the leader you are following. Who is this leader that you are following? How is he going? Is he going to Boya, or is using the name of Boya to go to another nation or another country or another place, and you have joined the queue? You have joined the queue. We are here to educate you. We are here to advise you. We are not forcing you. No, we're just advising you. If you want to hear what we are saying and verify, if you are that person who goes by fact finding, verify. Then follow the person who is talking the walk and walking the talk. Don't just follow somebody who is talking. I think in one of the videos I played to you a few days ago, reporting our history, Comrade Bo Herbert, who today I don't know what he's talking about and where he is. At that time, he saw eye to eye with our going to Boya with the IG. And he recognized the ills of Cho Ayaba on our people. And he made a statement. He said, well, Comrade Cho is a great speaker, but with no evidence, just making speeches with nothing to show. He said that. But today, he is the one who is joining hands. You think this is normal? You think this is natural? Are you not sure that there is a mystical operation going on somewhere? And when I talk, some people say, oh, this pastor, he has taken this thing and is talking what, colonial language, colonial God, want to go back to our gods. Are your gods so confused that you say something positive today and tomorrow you say another thing? Then that is not a God you should follow. You should better follow a consistent God. Yes, that will remain firm on what he has said. And when he discovers that what he said was not collaborating, was not really correct, how do you put it? That was not really matching, he makes an apology and makes a corrigino. But when you follow people who can never say, I am sorry, even when they are reprimanded, then you know that you are following a devil, because there is no sorry in his dictionary. Oh yes, I've told you here, some people have called me behind. Like I told you of one Christian who really called me and spoke to me and reprimanded me. And I apologized to him and I said, please, if I don't give something, it means I don't have it. You who knows and you have it, please, can you join? Let's bring these people the way you want to bring, because you may have a miracle or a magic that I don't have. Can you come in together? I don't know whether that brother is listening to me now, because I told him sincerely that I don't have. I say what I can say. And I've been doing everything to make sure that I bring us positive history. But if the negative is occurring and people are following it, I must make sure I come out here and denounce it. It's not holiness to hide the devil inside your house and it's causing havoc and you are beating your fingers and pointing fingers. This is the president that President Sako, that Marianta has gone out to form a group, or Cristiano formed a group and brought in Marianta, who was working under him. Marianta knows. They pointed fingers. Bring an evidence. That's Dr. Epa. I've played his audio over and over. Who said, just give me one evidence. One. Meaning that they recognize that there is no evidence. Please, Ambazonians, let's wise up now. Let's sit up. Let's hand over to this Jesus that President Sako has handed over to. That's the person that has changed him. You may not want to know that. You may not want to hear that. It was King Agrippa that told King Saul, the preacher. He says, Saul, much learning has made you mad. I don't want to think that Ambazonians are mad because of much learning. Agrippa was just being illusioned, because the knowledge with which Paul the apostle spoke was a knowledge from God. And the way Dr. Sako is talking today is baffling all his equals. It baffles them. Some of us will come out and talk and mention name. He will never mention the name. He just go ahead and talk. And it baffles these people, and they turn around to call us his surrogates. Yes, I agree. I would rather be a surrogate for somebody that you cannot actually point out a crime that you have tried to affix on him and it's not binding. I would rather be a surrogate to that person. And I want to stand with that person. He is a human being like you. And you have your many faults. One of the faults is you go to judge and condemn somebody before asking for evidence, like my friend is doing. It's wrong. And up till today, the evidence has not been given and you are still following. Then that hatred is not ordinary. It comes from the devil. You may not know it and you may not believe it, but I must tell you. Because somebody that you have impeached, you have castigated, you have sent out, and he is still sitting down there and focusing and doing things that we are getting to Ambazonia. You label him La Republic agent. Yet he's the one who is fighting and killing, making sure that La Republic agents are being taken out of our land. He's the one fighting La Republic by all means. He's the one raising funds to support our refugees who are packed all over there. And you are only there to castigate him and call his name every now and then, lying and changing the lies. Today is him. Abba, please, let's go back to history. Some of the things you are doing today, you forgot that you were recorded yesterday. Why were you recorded? Not just for a show. You were recorded for history. That's why when I'm talking some of these things, I like to bring out the facts so that you can hear by yourself that yesterday you were not just you. Today you are another you because you have refused the truth. And as it is said in their adage, the truth is bitter but must be spoken. And when we speak the truth and bring forth the evidences that are needed, some people go to castigate us. Well, even when the master was here and had no fault, he was accused. And when he was going, he put it down in the history book I'm reading that there is no servant who is above his master. If they have called him names, they will call you names. Mr. President, Dr. Sako Samuel Ikome. Did you hear me? I call all your three names. I say, Mr. President, Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome. Mr. President, Dr. Sako Samuel Ikome. How many times have I mentioned your name? 3 times. You know why? Sit up. Because what they did to your master is being done. It has been done. And it's being due. And it's doing on you. Don't judge me of my grammar. It's a continuous tense. Present, continuous, past, participle tense that I've used only on you alone. So sit up. God has put a crown on your head. The only prayer you should pray is, Father, not my will. Let your will be done. And go ahead and do the will of God. Because Satan has arisen. And Satan does not come with a black horn and with an eye on the forehead. No. Just like God is using you, so Satan is using other people. And the battle has been set between you and God, and between them and Satan. And the fight has been put on the line between them and you. You for God and them for Satan. It's not me who is saying it all. I've not dubbed anybody Satan. Go and read it. It is there. 1 John chapter 3 verse 10. In this, the children of God are manifest and the children of the devil. So when the children of the devil manifest, you will know. They may have wonderful titles. Apostle, Reverend, Senior Apostle, Reverend Bishop, Doctor, Evangelist, all those kind of religious titles, Pope, Assistant Cardinal. But those are just titles and names. We want to know who you are. Ambazonians, let's ask ourselves, who are you today? Not who were you yesterday. Yesterday is past. Who are you today? What will you be tomorrow? Remember, we are on the page of our Amba history. And in Amba history, we talk current events that are turning into history. We are presently in current events. I want you to take a retrospect. Just look at yourself and ask, where am I now? And who am I? God bless the people of Ambazonia. And God bless Mr. President. God bless the interim House of Representatives. God bless the Judicial Commission for the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. God bless the Ethics Commission God bless all the county and the local government chairpersons, the grassroots. God bless the people who are on home front bearing the brooms of La Republique. And God bless our refugees in La Republique de Cameroon, Nigeria, and all over the world that they have fled to. God bless you. Our victory is soon coming. And remember, our victory has come. Sorry, not soon coming, has come. And those who are speaking for the devil have spoken up. But I speak here to say that Ambazonia is not an abstract. The independence of Ambazonia is not an abstract. It is a reality. I cancel that language of the devil. It cannot have any preeminence over us. And the person who said it is now the same person who is changing the headquarters, meaning that he has come to believe that Ambazonia is real and our independence is real. But we will not accept, and we don't believe, and we do not go with his narratives. He has no right. Ambazonia, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, former British Southern Cameroons, has its headquarters in Boya, and no agent of La Republique can do anything about that. Anyway, in conclusion, remember, Abba Father knows your name, and he knows the name.
And you know my name. I give you glory, Abba Father. You know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name, oh Daddy. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time.
Thank you very much, people of Ambazonia. The Father knows your name, and because he knows your name, you must get ready to remember. Yes, get ready to remember. I'm going to come to you tomorrow again with our history. Remember, we have talked so much about Dr. Foncha, Dr. Endele, Ngomjua, and then now we have to come back to our current events that are happening right now. Somebody just talked to me very clearly, and I want to verify about this. I'm going to call their names, but tomorrow I'll be coming up with some other people who are in our this thing, who are in this revolution, and they were formerly standing for the gospel truth, but today devil has entered them. I will tell you why I say devil has entered them. Because any history that does not have a devil is not complete. But woe unto you if you become the individual that devil will use, like he used Judas Iscariot. Just hold on. That Ambazonians, 8 million Ambazonians are suffering because of you. You, with your lies telling, and with the devil that you have allowed to enter you to destroy the people of Ambazonia, giving them heat. God will give you heat. God bless you. Good night.